2. Welcome back at WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. Reminder, all of our Baltimore positive stuff happening this week. Wednesday, we'll be at Fade, Lease Seafood, and Lexington Market downtown with John Sarbanes. Thursday, back out at State Fair in Catonsville, moving around the rock and roll pictures for a doubleheader with the Baltimore Homecoming Crew, and I'm really looking forward to learning about that. That's coming up in 2 weeks. Really cool concept, as well as Ben Carden joining us on Thursday at Baltimore Positive and State Fair, and you can go to baltimorepositive.com to see Brandon Scott, as well as Howard County Executive Calvin Ball, who joined us last week at State Fair. One of our great sponsors is Brian Lease. He is a huge Ravens fan, and we're all kind of licking our purple wounds here a little bit this week. He owns and runs Roofing by Elite, Maryland's most trusted roofer since 1999. You can find him at 301-937-4846. But we like to get together and talk a little football. This is when it gets tough, right? This is the water's a little choppy, and defense looks a little leaky. Communication's not there, and we have to sit around here this week and worry about going up to Pittsburgh and saying, "Hey, we had a chance to go to 3-1, and we're not there anymore. We're in second place all of a sudden."
Yeah, that was a tough one to take there. We're not used to seeing a defense getting torn to shreds, but we're going to see what these boys are made of. Yeah.
Well, I would say the secondary being banged up, Brandon Williams not being in the game, the after-the-game situation, whatever occurred between Earl Thomas and Brandon Williams, you get guys that care in there and guys that are upset that they've lost the home game to the Cleveland Browns. But, by and large, it's a team loss, man, and communication on the backside and open pasture, that's going to be a problem for any quarterback in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm hoping to hear come out of this are the proverbial players-only meeting. Needs to be even broken down to just a D-backs meeting and a front seven meeting, maybe even a Earl Thomas and strength and conditioning coach meeting so they can get that figured out, his hamstrings, since he's so worried about it. Something needs to happen. Something big.
Well, and for Lamar, one of the things we saw with such a strength last year was the defense got on the ball back, right? And then it became a game of keep away and shortening the game, 12-play drives, playing keep away, Lamar doing sort of that bumper car look. A lot of that's gone. 4 weeks into this thing, the way the team looked last year, and certainly the personnel, if we're going to talk about Weddle and Mosley and what went out the back door with Suggs and institutional knowledge, and you wonder why there are communication breakdowns. Well, these guys don't know each other all that well, and then they're playing backups, and then they're playing system. They used to play a lot more disguise. They have to stay at home a little bit more to make sure they're not miscommunicating, and they've been taken advantage of by good quarterbacks over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, they certainly have, and you can see the communication issues that seem like almost on every snap. These guys are looking at each other, pointing this way, that way, like, no, you go here, no, this is where I go, and it's like, wow, they are really having some problems. And, it coming up on, our fifth week, I'm kind of surprised at that. But this is where it goes to coaching, and this is going to be where Wink, he needs to pull it together and figure it out really quick. I don't know what he's going to do, simplify things or something, but they need to get it figured out fast.
Well, they certainly have enough talent, right? Maybe in the middle of the linebacking core with Kenny Young, maybe with Peanut, maybe there are some communication issues there as well. Setting the edge, or not doing it the way they did with Terrell Suggs, and that's really a Judon Pernell McPhee issue at this point. But Brandon Williams, you remember 2 years ago at the knee game in London, during that period of time, Brandon Williams wasn't playing, and they were getting gashed. And you wonder where his value is on being on the field or off the field. When he's not on the field, problems happen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, when Brandon Williams was out and they did get gashed, I thought, no, it can't just be because of Brandon Williams, because to be honest, I thought his contract was too big, wasn't worth it. But, I don't know. When he's out, his value is being shown, and maybe he is worth all that money, because when he's out, this is what happens. And hopefully, he'll be back in next week, and we won't miss a beat, and things will come back around, and we'll look a whole lot better.
Well, we can get a chance to do that up in Pittsburgh. I mean, you feel good about where going up there without Ben Roethlisberger, but then you remember Ryan Mallett beating them, and you remember Charlie Batch beating us, and you realize, like, this is still going up to Pittsburgh. We thought Cleveland coming in here the other day was going to be taking candy from a baby. Didn't work out that way.
No, and you know what? You can't put too much stock into who your opponent is, and as far as what their record is, because if you think about it as a whole in the NFL, there's not a whole lot that separates one team from the other, unless you're maybe New England or you're Kansas City. They're another tier, but everybody else you're kind of grouped in, and there's not much that separates one another. So we gotta take Pittsburgh on like it's the Pittsburgh of old, like we've always known, and we gotta attack these guys and go out on the offensive. I mean, that was something I noticed yesterday. You know, with our offense, the game plan, I just didn't think was ideal. When you know, Cleveland's secondary is so banged up, we didn't really attack that. So we got to think of our opponent and where their weaknesses are and attack those weaknesses.
Brian Lease joining us here from Roofing by Elite, Maryland's most trusted roofer since 1999. Residential, he'll get on your roof. Tell everybody what you do this time of year, because whether it's home inspections and gutters and just checking to make sure you're not going to have snow issues, weight issues, you would never know you're having a problem on your roof without somebody up there like you looking at it, literally, right? I mean, you don't know you have the problem until you have the leak. You can find the leak before it becomes a leak, right?
Absolutely. This is a good time to kind of get your roof, you know, prepped for the winter, because we could get up on your roof now, get gutters cleaned out, do a free inspection. If there's any issues, bring that to the customer's attention and address it right away, so that you're not dealing with, you know, 6 inches of snow and a constant leak coming into your house.
Well, I hope I hope it gets cool enough to snow at some point. We have some warming around it, but the leaves coming down, leaves and roofs. So give me a little story about that, because I have that issue over on Hart Road in my place, and sometimes my son goes up there and runs up on the roof, cleans the gutters out and whatnot. But higher up, different kind. I see these roofs that are all sorts of different slopes to them. Where there would be leaves there, they sit there all winter. You got to get that stuff off your roof, right? That's the weight you don't want. You don't want that stuff rotting up there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the gutter cleaning is one of the biggest things that needs to happen as far as maintenance, and a lot of people just forget about it. But what could happen is if you don't clean your gutters, you're going to get your gutters clogged, then your water can back in, and you may not even see it coming into your house, but it's working on the wood on the outside and rotting your wood. Next thing you know, your gutters come crashing down, and you need new gutters, new fascia boards, and everything else. So best thing to do is address it before the issues come to light.
Like that. A little maintenance. Brian Lease here, Roofing by Elite. All right, so for what you saw with the Browns, this was not your father's Browns, right? Like, we're going to remember Chubb running us over. We're going to remember Jarvis Landry. Clearly, Marlon Humphrey's going to remember OBJ. And then there's just the whole Baker Mayfield thing where, like, they finally have a quarterback they drafted who came in here and beat us, right? Like, that just hasn't happened a whole lot over the last 20 years.
Yeah, I was disappointed in Freddie Kitchens. He actually came in with a really good, solid game plan. I didn't think that was going to happen, so he got me on that one. They did. They had a great game plan. They stuck to it, and they didn't alter from it, and it worked to perfection. They attacked us, where we were vulnerable in the middle. Against the run, they knew Brandon Williams was out, so they took care of business on their side of the ball. I thought we were really going to outcoach those guys. We have the veteran, coaches. We have John Harbaugh, a long-tenured guy, going up against a rookie head coach that just a week or two ago, acted as if he didn't know what the hell he was doing. So, come on.
Well, you can scheme them up, but when there's open pasture there, that's probably not the way Wink drew it up. Wink probably had a plan for that, and somebody lost their assignment. And that happened 3 or 4 times. And, hey, say what you want about Baker Mayfield, but he exploited that. He found that. He found the mess and delivered to it and, cut our arteries out 3 times, literally.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Marlon Humphreys was the only bright spot on that defense. Everybody else, I don't know. They didn't show up. They simply didn't show up.
Brian Lease is here, Roofing by Elite, the way to find you. So somebody calls you, it takes a day or 2 to get out this time of year. Well, where are you on appointment scheduling and that sort of thing? What's the best way to reach you if they want their gutters clean?
Give us a call, or they can fill out the info page on our website, roofingbyelite.com.
I love it. You got a contact up there, 301-937-4846. You can learn all about their project services, metal roofing, roofing types, learn about your roof, and learn how to get it fixed for the winter so you don't have any problems. Find them at 301-937-4846. Brian Lease at Roofing by Elite. Better days ahead, man. I'm driving up the Pittsburgh Highway on Sunday morning, so I'll be honking the horn at Breezewood and hopefully coming back with a victory on Sunday night.
I'll be right there with you. I'm driving up myself.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we'll say hello up there at Heinz Field as the tickets become available. We'll get to learn Mason Rudolph's name in Pittsburgh this weekend with Yins in that. Brian Lease, my pal from Roofing by Elite, stopping by. Got a lot of our sponsors stopping by around here. We got Baltimore Positive happening later on in the week, and everything we're doing here is out in the buyatoyota.com audio vault. It was an incredible week and weekend and a week of memories with the Super Bowl 35 and 47 troops kind of coming together, and lots of old Ravens, new Ravens, the big celebration down at City Garage over the weekend. It was all great till the game started, and then bad things happened. We hope to move it forward into Pittsburgh this week. We got baseball, wild cards. I'm writing a blog about the Orioles and about John Angelos and asking him a question about the future of the franchise last week. Hope you'll check that out at WNST.net. Big appreciation to our pal Lee Tessier and the Lee Tessier team hotline that we have employed around here. Lee Tessier selling homes, doing it better than anybody. You can find them at LeeTessier.com. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Snapchat and Instagram and streaming live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 and WNST Taos in Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.